Hello and welcome to Mock Productions. You're here with me, Matthew, and we are back with even more Skylanders Superchargers news, plus another Skylanders, but that will be revealed as we go through. Now, from the previous update, I forgot to show you this, which is in fact Sea Shadow's packaging. I believe that I duplicated, which one was it? I think it was Dive Bomber, I think it was that one. I duplicated that twice. So there's Sea Shadow's packaging. Again, it looks really, really cool. Definitely brings out that nice purpley, the metallic blue. Really awesome. Loving the picture in the back with you got Nightfall there as well, which just really is awesome. So moving on from that, there is this guy, Frightful Fiesta. Now this guy just looks so cool, and it's not just the recoloring. It's actually that the base has actually been recoloured. Now all of the Supercharger bases for the actual characters, they've all got this golden engine with what is an elemental element pouring out of the bottom of it as if it's like smoke or something. This one, however, has got a black engine, which is rather interesting. So they're finally starting to sort of update the bases as well as the figures, which is another way of sort of bringing a little bit more of a unique figure, especially seen as now they've got the figures that are actually, they're painted differently, and in game they are different as well, which is always a good thumbs up there. But he does look really cool. Compared to the other one, his eye sockets are different. I believe on the actual version they're white, and on this one they're yellow. Obviously he's normally more coloured in like red and blue. His the trombone actually is, or the symbol, the weapon of choice, the trumpet, whichever sort of thing you want to call it, is completely different. It's all silver, whereas the normal guy would actually have the golden trombone, and then at the very end there would be a red horn, obviously to like squeak it and make the sounds. The hat seems to be different slightly as well. There's these symbols which I don't remember seeing on the previous one, however I could be wrong there, but he does look very cool, very cowboy-esque again. Even more, to be honest. Maybe just adding some gold, the little spiky rotary blades at the bottom, that would just top it off and it'd be really, really cool. But overall, really excited for this guy, and it should be really cool to see him. This guy's apparently going to be out for Halloween, which is pretty cool because they normally do that every year. You know, a new character or a new wave comes out for Halloween. So really awesome. Moving on, we've got this guy. Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac. Almost missed out on that one. Now, to me, the base doesn't look different in terms of the colour, but the elemental symbol seems to have been changed to make it look legendary, which I like that. That's a really cool hint there. Now, we have already had a legendary Jet Vac, which I believe it was for Giants. I never got that one, so this is going to be pretty cool to get this one. Plus, it also gives us a really good look at his actual packaging. Now, obviously, you can see there it's a legendary series. I'm guessing there's going to be more legendaries. There normally is maybe about 2, 3, 4 possibly, but this is a Toys R Us sort of exclusive there. Obviously, I think at some point there will be like it will be online and you'll be able to get it elsewhere, but Toys R Us is going to be the main place to get this guy. The same. He's got the exact same slogan of Hawk and Awe, so nothing has changed there. So it might be the exact same character, but he's still got those different attacks, which we've been promised, and they do look pretty cool. But overall, the colour scheme on him does look really cool. I like the sort of golden helmet with the black sort of spiky air fins coming off the eyes. Adds a lot of detail to his face overall. And the red for the inside of his mouth, again, adds another dimension of colour, which I like that. There's just 2 different gameplay pictures here of him in-game, which do look pretty cool. He does look really awesome in-game. And hopefully he's going to have some pretty damn good upgrades to give him a little bit more power, hopefully. But there he is. Moving on from that, we've got this, which is the Nitro Stealth Stinger. Now, the Nitros came into play in Swap Force, carried on during Trap Team with Head Rush and Crypt King, and for this one we've got Stealth Stinger. So This, I think, does confirm that Stealth Stinger, plus the fact that Jet Vac is also getting this, and they're all coming out in Wave 1. Apparently the pre-orders, most of them are in America. There's nothing... I've checked most of the UK sites, and there doesn't seem to be any pre-orders for these guys. But however, in America, there is. And apparently this, the Nitro Stealth Stinger, is going to be an exclusive to Amazon, I believe. Or in America, if you live there, Target. As it was with Headrush, as I found out when I got mine from America, but because it had Target on it. But I really like the colour scheme on this. I think it really does give it some justice, and the fact that they've given us the actual packaging, I think this confirms that all of the Wave 2s, which we were talking about, are going to be combined like they were in Trap Team to be sort of Wave 1 and Wave 1.5 in a way, if you want to call it that. I know a few people in the comments have been saying that, giving their own opinion, which I think is awesome that they're giving us a lot of characters, because it keeps it going until December 1st, which is when Wave 3 or Wave 2 will be coming out, that sort of thing. If people are keeping track of all those waves, then good job. But yeah, really liking the packaging here. The green is pretty cool, and having actual Stealth Elf piloting it does look really cool. And I know a lot of people have been saying, "Whoa, we need a Nitro Stealth Elf." Who knows? Maybe they might bring it out. You know, they brought out 2 with both games, Swap Force and Trap Team. So who knows? We might be in for a bit of a surprise. And there's 2 different pictures here. We've got one here which is the supercharged version, looking super awesome. Really is nice and shiny. The metal on there. Obviously it's supposed to be wood, but there's this electrical sort of shininess to it, which really brings out some detail. And then you've got this one, which is a normalized version. You can see the differences between these 2 pictures in terms of what's supercharged and what's normal. Moving on, we've got this guy, again confirming that I think Wave 2 is going to be combined with Wave 1, but we've got steel-plated smash hit. Now again, I'm really liking this. The base has gone the exact same green as the steel-plated smash hit. Now we haven't had a steel-plated series. I don't believe I've heard of that specific series. This guy does look really cool, actually. The colours used here, brown, green, this sort of emeraldy green. It's not like super emerald, it's sort of a dirty emerald green. Silver, white, red, but mostly it does look really cool. The simplicity of just having a few colours, I think, is a real key to giving you these exclusives. You know, you don't want to be going out there and giving us a rainbow coloured whatever figure. Although, who knows, maybe people might like a rainbow coloured, what was her name? Oh, I can't think of what her name was. Whirlwind, seeing as she fires rainbows, so why not have a rainbow-themed Whirlwind? That'd be pretty cool. But again, this guy does look seriously awesome. The studs on his boots there, the silver, the muscular form, I didn't really notice that, but the muscular form, I'm still not 100% sure on what sort of species he is, whether he's a rabbit, a squirrel. It looks very rabbit-like with the bushy sides, but then again, a squirrel can hold nuts in its mouth, I think it was, so odd. I'll leave it down to the comments though. So moving on from that, obviously we have the packaging. Now it does say on the top only at Best Buy. Now in Britain, what is Best Buy? This might be maybe, I don't know, it might be Asda, it might be Tesco. Obviously there are other stores available for them to be in, but normally you get it from one place in America, and there's sort of an alternative, and I believe Target is linked with Asda, so that's probably linked there. Best Buy, why do I keep thinking that could be something to do with Tesco? But anyway, it might be anywhere. It could be another exclusive. Maybe they'll switch it over and this could be an exclusive on Amazon. Which other stores? There's Smith's. Game hasn't got an exclusive, so who knows? There's plenty of different stores for them to pick, but it does look super cool. In the packaging, it looks a lot more like a lime green rather than that emerald which is on the top. but I quite like the lime green. I think most people know why I like lime green. If you see most of the unboxings and gameplays, you'll find out about the background of my room and how it's like all lime green, but we're not talking about my room, we're talking about Skylanders. But moving on from this, let's move on to something a little bit more crazier. This. Okay, so Skylanders Battlecast. Now, you might remember in my unboxing of Hot Streak, I came across a sticker on the back. It said Skylanders Battlecast. Well, basically, it's been announced today. Today was the day for this to be announced. However, this game is not actually going... I say game. This game is not going to be out this year. As you can see down below, it's coming in 2016. The specific date, though, I don't know. Now, I don't think this is Skylanders 6. For one moment, it's not Skylanders 6 at all. The game is not... let's say the game is not a proper game. The game is something completely different, and it involves no figures. But it involves something more crazier than that. It involves cards. Now, a lot of people, I don't know whether people remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Or what's the other game that's out at the moment? A lot of people, Hearthstone, or is it Hearthstone? Yeah, Hearthstone. A lot of those rely on specific card packs, and these card packs, well, you can see here we've got digital card packs. This is what has been mentioned, and retail packs. Now, basically, what these are is it plays the whole game of basically it's a card game. So that Battlecast is in fact a card game. But what's awesome about it is that personally, looking at what I've seen so far, and I'll move on to different pictures just to show you what I'm on about, is that the cards can be played in game, but also outside of game. There are other games like it's not like Uno, but I could say Uno. There's games, Top Trumps. There we go. That's an example I could give you. Top Trumps. It reminds me very much of that, especially the stats. I'll show you the next picture. There's some of the examples of the cards, and I have to say, very HD looking cards. They are very colourful, but you can see at the very top you've got what looks like an attack symbol or a target, what's it called, a target hair or something like that, a crosshairs, there we go. And on the right hand side you have the life, it looks like, and then obviously at the bottom it's got all these different sort of exclusive moves or enchantments which can be added on, or they only work in one specific style. It's all very confusing. However, we're able to gather some bits and bobs from the actual trailer. Now, I'll put the trailer in the description below so you can actually have a little look at that, because it is a pretty awesome trailer. But basically it just shows off these cards, and you basically can put them up to the, you can see it here, on a iPad. It looks as if it is, yes. And basically you're putting it up, and the camera device itself will pick up the card, and it will show you a sort of it's sort of what can you call it, like an animation. Yeah, we call it an animation, but it's a real life animation, which is happening on the screen but not in real life. Now, I think that's happened before. I mean, there's like holographic goggles and all that which you can put on, and it like makes the entire world. But with this thing, you put the card up in front of the camera, it'll read the card, and then it will actually produce whatever card it actually is. So if it's Stealth Elf will pop up. But basically, the whole point of this is battling using this using touchscreen devices. Now, what's also awesome is that this isn't just a single player versus loads of computers. Oh no. You're online. You can play against other people online in different countries, all that sort of stuff, but you can also play against your friends. So if two people have got this game, I don't know whether you've got to be right next to each other or you can do it across the internet sort of thing. But it really does sound pretty cool. And the main thing for me is learning that there is going to be like these packs of cards to collect. So that means there could be a lot of trading and a lot of selling of these cards to make sure everyone's got a complete deck. Now, I don't know what's going on in terms of the cards, whether they're getting like special exclusive, like you can sometimes get shiny cards. I think Pokemon does that, shiny cards. there's so many card games out there which you could sort of bounce off and think, would they do this? Would they do that? Now, if this was I remember a few updates ago, if this was that picture, why didn't it look like this? So my guess is that other game which we saw, where a lot of people keep thinking it does say Battlecast, why does it look as if it's something online and where you're maybe running around in a specific area taking on others like a battle, not racing as we've discovered, and not a card game? But this is rather interesting because obviously you can see here it's only available, well, I say only, currently when it comes out it's available on the Amazon App Store, so if you've got like a Kindle or something you can get it on there. The Apple App Store, which basically is iPods, iPads, I'm guessing, as long as they're compatible with a specific app, you should be fine. Google Play, which I'm guessing is most of the phones and all that, can't really think of them off the top of my head, but you like download it on your phone, exactly the same as anything else. But they're the three that which have been revealed on. Now, I don't know whether there's going to be some sort of, I don't know whether it's a one-off match where you can just verse one person and that's it, or whether it's like best of 3, best of 5, a tournament where like 16 people go into one sort of lobby and they all battle each other to become the ultimate sort of person in a way. But the Battlecast, it does sound really awesome. And I just can't wait for more information. So hopefully there will be more information. Maybe a bit of packaging will be revealed for us in terms of the actual cards. A few more cards might be revealed. There have been a lot. Obviously, I think the trailer describes it best. I think that's the best thing to be doing, is having a look at the trailer. And like I said, it'll be in the comments below. Moving on from that, just wanted to show you this, a bit more of a clearer image of the actual packaging for the Sea Racing pack. I think this is a really nice picture, and I think it does show off very nicely the sort of height of the different characters which we're going to be getting in here. Obviously you've got the Golden Queen trophy there, which is looking pretty cool, but you've also got Reef Ripper and Gil Grunt there ready to go. Now, obviously we've got this where they're out, and it does look really cool having a bit more of a HD picture to see them properly. Then you've also got this, which is Sea Shadow and Reef Ripper doing, this is in I think this is one of the different maps which is unlocked by putting the Golden Queen on and possibly beating her. You got this one, which is really cool. I think this is called the Golden Temple, but it looks really cool just to have tons of Golden Queens going all that way up there, and you can see the sort of pyramid there. You see there Golden Queen in her sort of banana boat in a way, if you want to call it that, with the Reef Ripper next to it, looking kind of small. There's a sort of upward view of this one, very piratey land, but it's still on water. There's this one here, which is rather interesting because you can see the Gulper is coming back, which is another awesome thing. Mesmeralda over to the right there. There's something in the background which looks very crystally, and then Golden Queen at the very, very back. With another thing actually at the back, there's something red just above Gulper's head. Very interesting. Now, moving on from that, we've got some of these. Now, this is actually on Amazon.co.uk, so if anyone's wondering where I got this from, they're on there and you can see what's going on. Now, you'll be able to see here, it says Skylanders Superchargers pop-up garage play and display case. Now, my first thought is that it's just going to be some sort of box, like they normally do for Skylanders, but it houses it, or it looks as if it's a garage, which I think is going to be a rather awesome thing. Now, the only thing that is confusing me slightly is the price. $19.70. Why would you put that price? Why not $19.99? You can see it says released October 1st, but there's no pictures or anything like that. There's nothing I've found, there's nothing that's been said, but it's made by PowerA. So my guess is that this is a proper thing which is going to be coming out, seeing as PowerA have made a lot of the sort of Skylander display pieces and boxes and all that sort of stuff, which sort of adds a bit more detail to the overall game. There's also this, which is the Quick Store Playmat. Now, I don't understand how it can be a quick store playmat when a playmat for me is something where you use a car and you'd be able to drive it round on a mat. you'd sit on the mat or something and like mess with the cars on an actual town or something like that. So I just wonder what that is. Again, the price is kind of strange. $15.15 is it's really, really weird. But again, made by PowerA, as you can see, but it just seems to be 2 storage devices, but in some way one's a garage, possibly which can go on the playmat. Maybe that's the new thing. Maybe they're going to bring out like sections of a town, and you've got to build it on the playmat, and then it sort of allows you to like drive around at home and get a bit more active with the Skylanders than usual, which is going to be pretty cool, seeing a little playmat with all the Skylanders on. And of course, there's got to be this, and it actually has a picture. Whether it is the final picture, I don't know, but you can see here it's the official strategy guide, which I'll be picking up because it does come in handy. It's a really cool guide. They normally are pretty big. I'll be getting the hardcover because hardcover is just awesome and it protects it a little bit more, I think, than paperback. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff during this update, and really interesting to finally know that there's going to be another game. Not the 6th game, but another game. Something, it's very much like Skylander Islands and all that sort of stuff. I probably said that wrong. And there's also the Cloud Patrol. Those sort of like mini games, but it's on the iPod and Pad and Kindle and all those little touchscreen devices, which will be pretty cool. Oh, hello a second. Hold on a second. The walkthrough stories question. The detailed maps indicate where to find red toolboxes. What's that? Okay. Plus an in-depth look at the new vehicles classes illustrates everything required to put. Oh, so it's got some interesting stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to finally get that in hand and be able to use it with the game and go through it and think, right, what have I missed out? Where can I go to get this and that and these and everything like that? But really cool. Really awesome. Nice to know about Battlecast especially. And I can't wait to finally get some of those little packs and maybe do some little unpackagings of the little packs and see what we get, because I'm guessing they're not just going to make it simple, they're going to make it quite tough with hopefully some different cards, maybe the exact same Skylander but different stats to make it like maybe supercharged or something like that, which I think would really add a nice amount of detail to the actual game. But there we go, guys. So if you have enjoyed this and you're new to the channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button below in order to see more information about Superchargers and also gameplay when it comes out, as well as even more information to do with Battlecast. I'll be bringing it straight to you as soon as possible. A big thank you to everyone who has been subscribing, because it really does help. I really enjoy it because it just expands the community which we're growing. And it's just so much more enjoyable to think that a lot more people are enjoying these. And obviously I can find that out by you pressing the rate button below. If you're enjoying it, click that, and if you're not, obviously there might be something which I've missed or something, I don't know, who knows. But and obviously you can comment down below as you normally do to expand that community experience, so we can all have a brilliant time in discussing what will be and what is up to come, and your own decisions on what is going to happen. But there we go, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video on the channel. Thank you and goodbye.